If you've tried therapy, meditation, journaling, maybe even pills, but something still feels stuck, this video is for you. Not because those things don't work, they can, sometimes they do, but they might be missing something fundamental about where stress and trauma actually live in your body. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. The problem is that most approaches to anxiety and stress work from the top down, which is to say they start in your mind. Talk therapy helps you understand your patterns. Meditation helps you observe your thoughts. Cognitive reframing helps you shift your perspective. All of that is genuinely, truly valuable. It absolutely is. But here's what most of those approaches miss. Stress and trauma don't just live in your mind. They leave physical imprints that live within your body, in your nervous system. These felt imprints of stored tension, chronic activation, patterns, habit loops that run automatically beneath conscious awareness that no amount of thinking or analyzing or reframing is going to fully reach. And this is why you can, for instance, know that you're safe in your mind, but still feel anxious. You could know something is in the past, that it's over, it's behind you, but still feel it like a weight in your chest or in your shoulders or in your gut. Your mind has processed it in a way, but your body hasn't fully processed it yet. And until the body releases what it's been holding, that stuck feeling might just stay stuck. So here's how somatic breathwork works differently from other practices. It works from the bottom up. The word somatic simply refers to the body, the living body, your soma. So instead of starting with the mind and working our way down, we work with the body and work our way up. We're not necessarily analyzing the pattern or talking about it any more that you may want to or feel like you need to in the context of it. We're working directly with the nervous system to shift, to catalyze, rearrange, discharge the energy. And the tool that we utilize to allow this process to unfold is your very own breath. And your breath is remarkable because it's the only autonomic function in your body that you can consciously control. So if you think about it, even as you're sitting here listening, watching, if you're not thinking about your breath at all, your body is in essence breathing you. But when you bring your awareness to your breath, you could then consciously choose which pattern, which way you would like to direct your breath. So your heart is beating on its own, whether you're paying attention or not. It's doing its own thing. It's breathing. It's beating how it's beating. Your digestion happens without your instruction, without your guidance. It just goes on. It happens. But your breath, you can intentionally work with. And that's the most important thing here. Your breath is the most direct way into your nervous system. And it's available to you anytime, anywhere. There's no equipment. There's no prescriptions. You don't need years of practice, nothing like that. It's just your breath. And in this case, someone like me or some kind of certified instructor who can help you direct it, guide it in certain ways with certain patterns through this process to tap into the deeper running currents of your nervous system. I personally discovered this specific work when I was making my Broadway debut in 2013. And the long and short of it was we were in previews, which are the shows you do before you have that big opening night. And a mentor of mine by the name of Larry Moss came in and he saw the previews and he said, John, there's beautiful work going on here, but I can tell when there's a certain part of a scene where there's this big emotional charge. And when that emotional charge starts to rise, you start to close off your heart. And the work is honest and truthful, but I'd be very curious to see what would happen if your heart was more open, if you were more emotionally free and liberated. So why don't you go see my friend for some breathing? And I thought, okay, so is this going to be like meditation, yoga breathing? And it wasn't like that really at all. I had this one-on-one session, laid down on a mat, and this one-on-one process with a person who later became a mentor of mine as well. And through this process, my breath started to cycle its way through. I started crying. I started screaming, which doesn't necessarily happen for everyone. It's only if your body needs that expression. Not everybody does. But with me, I was harboring so much anger that I had no idea was there. So much deep held pain I had no idea I was carrying. And so in essence, I was purging rage I just I had no idea I was harboring it, but by the end of it, my heart felt wide open. I felt free, I felt liberated, and I knew after that first session, although at the time I was so deep into my acting work, I knew that someday I had to take the time to not just practice this, but to understand what was going on here and someday to share it with as many people as possible. So that's what brings me here now. And here's what makes this different. I want to be very clear this process is not like passive meditation. It's active, guided breath work, and there is a significant difference because this process it's not about relaxation. I mean, within the arc of a session, whether it's a private session or a group session, there's a full arc where you ultimately land into relaxation. But the way that we get there is clearing the space around whatever has been getting in the way. People often come to me and they want to feel calm, and that's important. It's achievable. It's a state, though, that comes and goes. It could be kind of a temporary surface experience. And what we're working here is with something that is deeper. It's beyond surface calm. It's a deeper felt sense of regulation. And regulation is when your nervous system has the capacity to not just be calm in moments, it means you have the capacity to move through activation without being overwhelmed by it. So you stay, as I think of it, grounded within activation. Quite frankly, there's no version in which you're going to live a full life and not experience some forms of stress or fear or grief. I mean, you're a human on the planet Earth, and especially if you're striving for new things, stuff's going to come up. Life happens. And so to be calm all the time, it's not realistic. It's not even a goal worth reaching for. You'd be secluded in a cave, and even still, you'd be dealing with things. So the whole part of this process is that you're staying grounded within the activation of these heightened feelings, and staying grounded within the activation is true resilience. And that's what changes, comprehensively, pragmatically changes through this process. Every session I guide is trauma informed. It's tailored to you, your goals, your nervous system, your pacing. You are always in control. That's the number one thing. And you go as deep as you are ready to, in the timing that you're ready to. And I am simply there to support you for as deep as you are ready and interested to go. So who is this for specifically? It's for you if you've been curious, if you've been deep diving, if you've been doing the work, but you still feel stuck, that these other modalities haven't fully delivered. There are aspects that are still in there. It's for you if you're a performer, a creative, a high achiever, someone who knows what you're capable of, but keeps running into the same, whether it's self-sabotage, I say in quotes, or that same ceiling that you just seem to hit through not letting in enough abundance, or struggling with deeper connection to yourself or others, or a sense of purpose or clarity. If anxiety or overwhelm has just become your day-to-day baseline, this process completely shifts that. It's for you if you're carrying grief, trauma, emotional weight that you can't seem to drop, to put down, to shed, no matter how much work you do, no matter how hard you try, you just keep running into the same loops. It's for you if you are ready, deeply, genuinely ready to stop managing your symptoms and start actually changing, pragmatically, lastingly changing. Every Wednesday on this channel, I'll be sharing insights, guided practices, reflections, and some great conversations with remarkable people, co-workers of mine at Kripalu Center, which is this internationally renowned yoga retreat that I'm on the faculty of. People from the acting world, the entertainment industry. I'll be sharing all these things on here. You can even look at my archives to see past conversations. And all of it will come back around to help you regulate in real time so you can feel, perform, and live better from a heart-centered, more deeply connected, more clear, not just high functioning, but functioning to your top capacity. This work helps you tap into that flow. If you're curious about working with me directly, there's a link below for a free consultation. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe here so that you don't miss a video. I'm Jon Orsini, and I'll see you next week.